we are being joined by my son, Matthew.
Huzzah.
Hello.
Hey. You take my thoughts down.
The greatest person in the whole world. And then we
Wait,
later...
me. Yeah, sure. You happy now, you jerk?
Shut the hell up.
Stand by. Going to air.
Stand by, Phil.
5,
Stand by music.
4,
Stand by announce.
3, 2, 1.
And fade up.
They're the Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks of Hobbs. American public, you are worthless.
Can't account for taste.
Your teaser from earlier on
That's
the loose
fantastic.
adaptation.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Shove that Pulitzer Prize square up your ass.
I'm so happy.
I'm as best as you're gonna get, ladies. So here you go. We have. Shut up!
Then it's not a 4! Masturbatory bullshit. I get the joke now.
Hey,
Stupid,
kids.
wonderful thing. Yeah.
Here's some stickers.
Are you in the crosshairs of the woke mob?
To the bridge of Cosmic Doom.
What is happening in my mouth?
Pumpkin spice lattes. I was the mark. You were the mark, man.
Yay. You want to get high together? You want to drink?
Cinema.
Subterfuge, machinations.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Well, welcome everyone to a brand new episode of 20 Years, 4 Beers. We are a podcast dedicated to rewatching movies from at least 2 decades ago, while simultaneously enjoying a minimum of 4 modern beers. My name is Steve, and this is my big brother,
Tim.
and we are coming to you from just outside Minneapolis, Minnesota. In this episode, we do what our show says that we do and journey once again back to 20 years ago. And we rewatch 2005's Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I think on the last episodes, I said 40-Year-Old Virgin and Wedding Crashers, and since dozens of people are probably expecting that, sorry.
What?
You'll have to find those later this year. But we pivoted away from those for now and went to more family fare, since we are being joined by my son, Matthew.
Huzzah.
Hello.
Anyway, as usual, we tend to start with, well, not even as usual. Sometimes we'll head back into a recent watch of a newer movie, and Tim and I both experienced this one in the theater, as did Matt, and we watched the final, in probably air quotes, maybe.
Sure.
I think they're going to do one more. Mission Impossible film. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, or is it just Final Reckoning? I think it's Mission Impossible, Final Reckoning.
Yeah.
What were some of your thoughts on the Mission Impossible?
You know, it's, I'm happy that they hopefully might be done with the sequence. They've ended it really well.
Yeah.
For me, if you liked the other ones, you will enjoy this.
And if you didn't like them, why are you watching?
Exactly.
This?
It's like,
At this point, this is 8. You probably can.
This might be the one that they
This might-
make it work. No. Yeah, it was a nice wrap up of all the different kind of storylines. I was incredibly surprised at the stuff they brought in from previous storylines.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh yeah, well done, from like the third one, even the first one.
Yep.
So it definitely felt like a nice culmination and not just like this little tail end to Dead Reckoning. I mentioned it, but it truly has, I think, the greatest stunt I've ever seen on film before. And I'm so happy they didn't really destroy or like spoil it in the trailers.
Yeah.
It was like, I cannot believe I'm watching this right now. How he does what he does. Of course, it's safe. We get it.
Yeah, but even in this case,
It's just insane.
he didn't have a parachute for that stunt.
Yeah.
So while he was attached to the other plane,
Yeah.
he did not have a safety net in terms of if something falls.
Sure. Or goes haywire.
Yeah. And for those of you who haven't seen it, it's not a spoiler because obviously we're not a visual medium. There's where in the trailer you see the red and the yellow plane going after each other,
And he starts.
and he's on the side of it.
Yes.
But at one point he jumps from one plane to the other.
He
Effectively,
has to get from one plane to the other.
And
it's just
that is
real.
and it's one of those like it kind of just happens. It's not like
Like we're gonna build up all
Right.
this thing to it.
yeah. But it's in theory a simple stunt
Yes.
in terms of what you see on film, but the practicality of it
It's
is just unreal.
unreal.
And everything in that, they're flying around. They're doing. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say.
So overall,
Go ahead.
thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So happy to see it. See it on the big screen. Well worth it. Kudos, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I agree. I had some major issues with it actually. Not in a like I didn't like it standpoint. Obviously, it's really good.
Sure.
Super enjoyable. We talked about this off episode. It's not fun.
True.
It's not fun.
There's no lightness to it. Or
No,
like comedy.
there's not a lot of comedy. It's
No.
very dramatic with everything with Luther and
Yes.
and again, and I'm not even saying any of that is bad, but the point of a lot of it was this sort of like tongue in cheek, even like Ghost Protocol when they finally catch oh man, something blanking on the Simon, right?
Yes.
And he, you know, we weren't a part of the joke, or
Yes.
we weren't a part of the plan.
Yeah.
It
The
was
scheme.
happening, and we think, and then all of a sudden you find out that this was all a part of Ethan's plan.
Yep.
And it was fun, and then there's some lighthearted moments. There's very little of that.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to watching it again. I'm looking forward to watching it again, but I do think like it just lost out on that. Some of the things like the guy being Jim's son was just
Yep.
unnecessary. It made no sense. I was like, why?
Some of the plot was way too convoluted for its own good.
Yeah, and so I think as much as I think it's a good movie, and obviously I put it low on my list in terms of favorites.
True.
I think for me, it's an example of what happens when creators. I think sometimes studio execs can be a good way to stop you from doing it.
Yeah.
And they obviously had carte blanche here. They obviously had $250-300 million.
Yep.
And Macquarie could write whatever he wanted. They could do whatever stunts they wanted, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But there was no reining it in, and nobody saying we should do this.
Yeah.
Like I think that is a bad thing sometimes, and we'll talk about that a little bit with Back to the Future down the road. Sometimes studio heads are just terrible. And Tim's watched the TV show The Studio, and you see that in there too. And I think, so I think this is an example of maybe getting a little too bloated for their own good.
Absolutely.
But it's still a great action movie.
Yes.
It's still a wonderful movie. Tom Cruise has done nothing but try and save modern cinema and modern theaters
Yes.
and empower other creators, and so kudos to Cruise, kudos to everybody involved.
Yep.
Matt, what were your thoughts on Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning?
I think it was an enjoyable movie. I was blown away by the stunts. The amount of suspense that was in it was probably one of the best parts of it. And like, it had the most suspenseful parts of it in this whole trilogy. As you said, probably Tom Cruise keeps saving film, and I think it is up there. I know we're halfway through the year, so it's probably one of the best movies of 2025 so far.
Sure. Quick ranking of your 8. What do you got? Obviously, 2 is last. So I
2
mean,
is last.
what's your next film on top of 2?
I'd say probably this one.
Yeah, I probably would go. I'd have to watch it again. I almost would say original over like I like the original. Again, full caveat. All of these are good movies,
Correct,
except for 2. Like I mean, so at this point, we're just like so.
Yeah,
it'd probably be Final Reckoning or the first movie for me.
it's like 8, 1, and 3.
Yeah,
to me are kind of like depending on my mood, I would fluctuate those around.
Yeah, I
Whereas to
agree,
me-
and I love 3. But
Yes.
I agree. Those would be my next
Yes.
3 in that order. So I guess we're in agreement of that. In some variation, it's 8, 1, 3.
And then 4, 5, 6 after it kind of depends on. Well, I guess in 7, probably Dead Reckoning is probably the next one up.
Yeah, same
Yeah,
for me.
yeah. I put that above the 1, 2, 3 or the 3, 5, whatever.
Yeah. This is obviously we planned this ahead.
Yeah, exactly. 4, 5, 6 after that, I'd say probably Fallout.
Fallout
Might
is
be the one that I would say is the best.
Fallout is the best, and if I were to put Fallout, if I were to make a list of best action movies of all time,
Yeah.
Fallout would potentially be in my top 5.
Yeah.
I think Fallout is. If they had ended on Fallout, it would have been
Correct.
the perfect ending of a movie franchise.
Yes.
So-
But it really only works because 4 and 5
Exactly.
were so solid to
builds
build
into
it up. But yes, Fallout's the best.
Yep. So, as mentioned, we are going to rewatch Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. This is the continued story of, checks notes, one Harry Potter.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. I'm not sure if anyone has
Oh, my notes are going to be way
who
off.
this is. So Harry and his friends are in year 4 at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. And as with most of us growing up, year 4 was the year that we faced our evil nemesis face to face for the first time. So, but in actuality, the film does follow Harry and his friends as a legendary tournament of champions is hosted at their school, one that Harry gets entered into against his will. Our heroes must navigate the tournament together, protect themselves from the threats of Lord Voldemort, and also face down something almost scarier than death, a high school dance.
Dun, dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun. The film is another major shift in the franchise and remains at the top of many people's favorite Harry Potter movies. The movie is directed by Mike Newell, adapted from the J.K. Rowling novel by Steve Kloves, and stars Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, Rupert Grint, Michael Gambon, Robbie Coltrane, Maggie Smith, Alan Rickman, Brendan Gleeson, Gary Oldman, Tom Felton, David Tennant, and Robert Pattinson.
If you guys were the inventors of Facebook, you'd have invented Facebook.
This is a social network
You don't have to be an intellectual property expert to understand the difference between right and wrong.
where we take a look back at the critical and fan reception from 2 decades ago.
Mark!
As usual, Tim takes point on this, so take it away, Tim.
You better lawyer up, asshole, because I'm not coming back for 30%. I'm coming back for everything. $1 billion.
The IMDb rating is 7.7 out of 10, so pretty high and solid. David Anson of Newsweek magazine said screenwriter Kloves has streamlined Rowling's 700-page plus opus into cinematic fighting form, and the special effects, which threatened to overwhelm the first 2 movies, are seamlessly integrated. Angie Arrigo of Empire magazine said, it's refreshing that Goblet of Fire aspires to be a paranoid thriller rather than yet another detective mystery. House points too for the movie's terrific effects and its considerable charm. Roger Ebert gave it 3.5 out of 4. So the 4th film is more violent, less cute than the others, but the action is not the mindless destruction of a video game. It has purpose, shape, and style. The film also finally has full-blown adolescence to contend with, and these scenes seem almost in the spirit of John Hughes' high school movies. Director Newell allows the film to explore a wide emotional range, balancing delicately between whimsy and the ominous, uncertain middle ground where Harry lives, poised between fun at school, teenage romance, and the dark abyss. Academy Awards, it was up for 1 nomination that year for Best Art Direction.
Which I think that's crazy because the dragons in this alone,
Yeah.
you feel like visual effects.
The
you're not
amount
up
of
for it?
visual effects and like the underwater sequence.
Yeah, and
They
without
have-
looking back, I know sometimes they have rules where you only have 3 because there's not enough visual effect driven films
Sure.
or something like that. But yeah, I'm like, the underwater stuff's pretty solid. The dragons
Yes.
are good.
Yes.
I mean, it wouldn't have mattered because it would have lost because Harry Potter has 0 Oscar wins in the franchise.
True.
But still, that's a little surprising.
Art
to me.
direction only? Weird.
All right, well, there we go. We are going to pause and rewatch the movie. If you are so inclined, go right ahead and watch along with us. If not, we'll see you on the other side of this break. Here now is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
I protest! Harry! I protest!
Harry, did you put your name in a goblet of fire?
No, sir.
You asked one of the oldest students to do it for you?
No, sir.
You're absolutely sure?
Yes, sir. And of course he is lying.
The hell he is! The goblet of fire is an exceptionally powerful magical object. Only an exceptionally powerful confundus charm could have hoodwinked it. Magic way beyond the talents of a 4th year.
You seem to have given this a fair bit of thought, Mad-Eye.
It was once my job to think as dark wizards do, Karkaroff. Perhaps you remember. That doesn't help, Alistair. Leave this to you, Barty.
The rules are absolute. The Goblet of Fire constitutes a binding magical contract. Mr. Potter has no choice. He is, as of tonight, a Tri-Wizards champion.
We begin our discussion with our reaction segment that we call Spotlight.
This is Boston, and the church does not want them to be found. So, they are not there.
This is where we highlight and discuss our top takeaways of any kind from rewatching our subject film.
We've got 2 stories here. We've got a story about degenerate clergy, and we've got a story about a bunch of lawyers turning child abuse into a cottage industry.
If there were 90 of these bastards, people would know.
Maybe they do.
This is Spotlight.
They knew, and they let it happen.
All right, well, welcome back to 20 Years, 4 Beers. We have just finished rewatching Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and I've also had 4-ish new beers that we will review in the segment coming up. But first, we talk about our immediate reactions in this Spotlight segment. Because we had a special guest who grew up with these movies and wanted to talk about it a little bit. My son Matt has got some thoughts on it. Do you have not all? You took a whole lot of notes. We don't need all.
He was clicking away.
Yeah, it was just clacking away. But what would you like to share?
What are some high points?
What are some high points for you?
The high points for me would be the amount of like foreshadowing there was, especially at the start, where you see the graveyard. Like just at the very start, out of the blue, no like reason for it to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I first watched it, it was completely something I completely just I skimmed past it, thought, whatever, it's a graveyard. But the way that it's just how well they do that, and like there were multiple amounts of foreshadowing, especially of how like the introduction of Victor Krum in the Wizarding world, and how at the start Ron is absolutely obsessed with him, like he's the greatest person in the whole world, and then we later
me. Yeah, sure.
And then we just later on Ron gets to there's certain things, and how the introduction of like Krum, it shows. I like the Quidditch World Cup because it shows kind of how what we think of Quidditch as just a kind of just subject or a curriculum in Hogwarts, as just something that isn't big. But then we come to this fourth movie, and you see that it's much popular. It's huge.
Yeah, like I think because in later movies they talk about professional Quidditch and stuff like that. So this is the first time you see that it's like,
and it's
something could be.
Yeah, and then I said it introduces the Death Eaters and foreshadows how they play a bigger role, especially in the upcoming movies. They are definitely people that you don't want to forget
or F with.
Well, yeah, and
I mean,
they're
eat
bigger roles.
death.
Eat death, man.
And then I loved the amount of like music there was, how it was different for both schools coming. Durmstrang
and the
French ladies.
French, yeah.
And then there's
Bobet.
Yes, Bobaton.
There's multiple things, especially about Professor Moody, that I loved. It was the introduction of him, kinda.
That's the thing, right?
And it's just there's certain looks from characters in the movie, like Karkaroff, especially like the look after Harry was announced to be in the Goblet, that look that he gives Moody, and then it's just there's certain like snips that you can see that like, oh, this guy isn't who we actually think he is. And I think it was brilliant. I love the writing of this. I think it's in a very enjoyable movie, and it's very rewatchable. The whole parts of when Harry is announced and him and Ron, that whole like, I loved that because it's true no matter what reason. Because there's no matter what in high school, even if you don't want the fame, like clearly Harry didn't want that fame, but there's always somebody that you will know that gets jealous because you're getting all this attention, and it's very real, and I liked that.
So, like, if somebody went viral now on TikTok, it would be that.
Yeah, like if somebody posts like a picture with like a professional athlete or something, or comes to school with like something signed by them, that can attract attention, or it varies in different ways, but there's always somebody who can be more jealous, and it's brilliant, and I like it.
Anything else?
No.
Nice. All right, cool. Well, Thanks for joining us, Matt. Of course. Thanks for sharing. Tim, do you have any first initial thoughts while I fix my microphone?
I agree. The best thing this movie does is expand the Wizarding world beyond what we've been used to for the 3 movies so far. Is that they really level set to start with, the Quidditch aspect. I agree. Like, I actually find Quidditch to be the least interesting part of the entire series. But it's, it's their version of some type of extracurricular sporting activity. So I get it.
Yeah.
But yes.
I wonder if in America they call it something else.
Well,
wouldn't that be great if they had if she had Quidditch in the Fantastic Beasts, and instead of soccer and football, they called it something else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like
it's
broom
football,
ball,
but
should
not
be broom ball. Damn it!
Or it'd be like a different version of something like, no, it's not football, it's football. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because yes, what's fine for these movies, sets the stage for you could do this as a career, possibly like a sport for your kind of like future, but. It actually, it breathes some fresh air into the series. Where kudos to either Rowling but obviously the story. But in the movie, it expands the world, so it's not just this like kind of claustrophobic, contained world. It blows it up, and it's a great step forward for the series.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about Steve Kloves later, but I think writer. I think you do have, with all of us, you have to give credit to Rowling. I mean, reluctantly, based on the person. But again, we've covered Kevin Spacey multiple times in this. And so it's not about who the person is, it's about what they produced.
Yeah.
And I will say, if Rowling, this book is 700 pages.
Yeah.
There is
it's a doozy.
A ton of stuff that should not be on film. So the adaptation is really key.
Yes.
So... It's kudos to Rowling for making it like a little darker and a little,
much more weight.
Sure.
Yeah.
But then, from a movie standpoint, kudos to the filmmakers to know what to cut, what to include, and so for sure.
Well, it's that, and they have to recognize, and I really appreciate what they do is, not all stories work for the different types of mediums.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this works where you got 700 pages. You're really, really working hard on like a great story. You can sit down. You got 2.5 hours, 23 to tell a story. You cannot have extraneous crap. Like it's got to be tight and they got to condense because now you're adding 2 different worlds exactly into this. So yes. And to that, and actually this is the first film. So when this came out, I had seen all the movies, but I hadn't yet at this point read the books.
Right.
Because immediately I was like, they cannot live up to the hype. Like they can't be that good. And I was like, whatever, 25, man, like I'm not reading this kid's. Yeah, this kid's bullshit. Yeah. But I remember seeing this in the theater and thinking, there is so much more to this that I'm not getting. Mm-hmm. Because even though it's compelling, they're like clearly like broad stroking the shit out of this, where it's like, you know how it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
that's usually my
the
Saturday
stuff
morning.
with like Longbottom and being like, oh, he's reacting to like this, like, torture shit. And like,
right.
So to this movie's credit,
it
finally inspired me to go I'm like, damn, I should get the books. So bought the books and then got caught up and read them as they came out and thereafter. But yeah, it definitely was the most obvious, despite how great it was for like their ability to condense it down, that me watching the movie be like, oh, there's way more to this than I'm seeing on screen.
Yeah, it is. And I think my criticism of the books for a long time is that there's actually too much in the books for a lot of it.
Yeah.
I don't need the sorting hat every time. Like I don't need that. There's just some.
Which the movies thankfully get rid of that.
Yeah. And so that's where it's nice from a an adaptation standpoint that they know, this is.
They get to the best parts of it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so I do like that. I'm going to hold off on talking about Steve Kloves for a little bit in the writing.
Okay.
I think Mike Newell's an interesting choice for director here.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he's bad. but he doesn't bring anything to the movie. I think if you look at, because David Yates takes over after this. You had Alfonso Cuarón in
The
3,
third one,
and then you have Chris Columbus in the first 2.
Yeah.
He's definitely the weakest entrant of all of this. And it's just because he brings nothing to it.
It's the most like stereotypically cinematic.
Yeah.
It just looks fine.
It's fine. The shots are exactly what you think. There's nothing that is, at no point are you like, oh, I love that shot. That's a great artistic choice or whatever. Because even Chris Columbus, as they're running down the hallways, kind of spins the camera, and maybe it's his DP, I don't know. But either way, like, Mike Newell, not that it's bad, it's just that there's nothing to it that I would say, oh, Mike Newell brought something. Like, he brought his game.
Oh, he elevated our next step. Yeah.
It's visually a fine movie.
Yep.
Visual effects, we'll talk about in a little bit. But nothing, I'm kind of like, Mike Newell doesn't make a lot of sense for this. Like,
no.
Chris Columbus made sense because he was a kid's director. He kind of had that idea, he had that vision. And we talked about it with the first movie that you got to give him credit.
Yeah.
I don't like either of the first 2 movies, but you got to give him credit.
Established the world.
He established the world.
Yeah.
Alfonso Cuarón took it and said, here's a grown-up story. Here's like a world that you can get behind.
Correct.
And Newell continues that world, but doesn't expand on it in any way, shape, or form.
No.
And
it's like a facsimile of what Cuarón changed and built upon with Columbus, but it's just like, I agree.
When I guess I'll talk about my verdict a little bit too, but it makes me, I'm mad because Mads Rotem, I'm disappointed not to be that parent, because 4 is my favorite book of all 7 books. 4 is my favorite personally.
Yes,
and for me, everyone's got their own.
I'm the same. Yeah,
like, everyone.
4 is the best book.
I think 4 is the best book. I think 4, for what the third movie gets credit for in terms of taking it to the next level, I think 4 does that in the books. 3 does that to a certain extent, but not the mood. Cuarón brings the mood.
Yes.
In the third movie, the book doesn't have that mood. 4 brings the mood, brings the angst, brings the story, brings the depth of the world that's outside of Hogwarts. 4 is my favorite book.
Yep.
And so it was disappointing because then Newell comes in. It does a fine job. It's not that he does a bad job.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bring anything new to the table.
No.
And it takes a step. It does take a step because the story takes a step, but it doesn't take a step because of Newell.
Correct.
And so I think
like visually,
I feel like, and he was an established director of romantic comedies.
84 Weddings and a Funeral.
Yeah, and then that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it felt like, did they pick him because he was friends with the producer? I mean, they went and got Cuarón, this like sort of up and coming
Mexican director. Yes.
And then you go to a very well established
Brit. We need a Brit.
Like picking Richard Curtis from for Love Actually or whatever. You'd
Yes.
be like, what's the point here?
Yes.
So he doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, and it is definitely just a fine looking.
Yeah.
Like it feels like a movie.
Yeah.
But I agree. There was some level of being so impressed by the third one.
Yeah.
At the time, as well as in the watch, feeling like, oh yeah, there's a great desire to move this thing forward.
Right.
And this felt like it was like, well, I guess we just got to tell a good story.
Yeah, when you go watch 5, 6, and 6 is one of my favorites. It feels like David Yates took it and said like, okay, this is mine.
I'm gonna make it mine.
And it felt like Newell was like, okay, I'll just make the movie.
Yep. Here we go. What I do really appreciate is, from the condensing standpoint, but they just get right into the Tri-Wizard stuff. So like, there's no sorting hat, like you said. There's no, they get off the train really quick. And it's the first hint of like Cho Chang and like the adolescent aspect to it. So it's a good kind of hint for like what the movie's going to try and balance.
Right.
And these stories. And then boom, right away, here we go. We are right into it. And I like the fact of like, it's just very expedient with the story they want to tell.
Yeah.
And they move it forward and it's great. But to that end, what I really appreciate about this movie is, and you talked about like the weight of, it's a very darker film.
Yeah.
In as much as like the third never, it's interesting, but it never felt like there was peril.
It's darker in the sense of we see the darker side
Yes.
of
like the Wizarding World.
and
Yes. Oh, there's a prison and like there's bad people, like
right,
really
you got-
bad. Like, oof.
Wormtail or Peter Pettigrew who's willing to live as a rat
Yes.
for 15 years. Like,
And this starts to lean into like, oh no, these competitions are like legit.
yeah.
They're going to test you, not, and that's where they're like, oh, we're going to be 17-year-old. Like, here we
Yeah.
go.
Which, by the way, should have been a rule anyway.
I know, like, you're just figuring that now?
Would you have been like,
oh, shit.
14-year-olds would be fine. First years, sold.
Well, they hinted at, like, people died. It's like, maybe you should have figured out after. Like,
yeah, is this like Hunger Games where you were like 12 and above and you'd have been
like, your
totally
tribute
fine?
level should go up.
Yeah.
I know, like, your final year, then you can compete.
Then you can.
But that, kind of weighted aspect, but balancing it with the really leaning hard into like the adolescent piece of like 14-year-old, like, oh, now we're starting to, or is it 15? I forget that
They're
age. Like,
14.
yeah, but it's like leaning into the awkwardness and the challenges that come with that. That's, I think, a next step for this movie, which I really, really appreciate.
It's the testament to, they do it for the movies and she did it in the books. Like her or don't, and don't is the answer to that.
Yeah, Curtis State don't.
Yeah, I will say the best thing that Rowling did was age the story with the audience.
Correct.
Like it wasn't like some of the there's another kids book series called the Dragon Master series. It was just like it's super cute, but it's for like 8, 9, 10-year-olds. It's the same every time. They don't age.
Yeah.
And you're like, is this the same story? And my point is, there was this understanding that said, these guys are going through what would amount to be in British terms, junior high and high school.
Sure.
And what does that look like? What does the story do? It gets deeper, it gets darker. We do that. There's relationships, there's betrayals, there's all this stuff.
Yeah.
That happens I'm seeing it in a mat on a day-to-day basis in high school now. I mean, we experienced it when we were kids.
Yeah. The world becomes less innocent.
It does. And it's sad, but it's true.
Yeah.
So you got to give credit to the movie for recognizing that they could have played it down. You could have.
Yeah.
But they do a good job of aging the movie without it being, because they are 14. So it isn't, yes, there's Death Eaters. Yes, there's Voldemort coming back. But it isn't like we're not talking about Euphoria here. We're not talking about some absurd like version
over the
of
top
this.
Yes.
It's a normal version. Everything seems to be normal. And to Matt's point when he was talking about it earlier, Ron felt betrayed by his friend.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. I, as an adult, roll my eyes at that. Like,
right?
Use your capacity for abstract thought.
It's
which
so
kids
funny.
Don't have.
Oh my God.
But he totally recognized that. And I think that's super stupid. But he was like, I could totally see that a friend being betrayed, that would make him mad.
I'm so happy we're talking about that because I agree. Like sitting here and watching the movie again, and even since like seeing it throughout for the first time and then later with the kids, it is absolutely amazing. Like in real time, sitting here being like, audience matters.
Yeah.
Who's receiving the message in different ways? Because I agree. I'm like, Ron is a bitch.
Yes.
Shut the F up.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, I'm so mopey. You didn't know me.
Tell me.
Oh, you didn't tell me.
Include me.
It's supposed to be like,
meanwhile, your friend is telling you he didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
Yeah.
And then later after the dragon competition, it's like, oh wait, now I'm probably seeing, you probably didn't do it. Oh, now we're good. Like it's such a useless story device in the aspect of they move past it so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
They introduce it to have some weird tension to fill 20 minutes, and then Harry gets the egg, and it's like, oh, and we're past it. So it is.
And boys will do that.
At that time of their life, like, so again, kudos to everything. It works, but I agree. From an adult standpoint, it's like, oh, God, you little whiny
get over it,
bitch.
you whiner.
Well, I should tell you everything? Yeah, exactly. Oh, God.
Did you have anything else on that?
No.
I think what strikes me every time I watch Harry Potter, I have this with Hunger Games, I have this with many other, is that our main protagonists are always like, you get a lot of help, man.
Yeah.
Like Harry Potter gets a ton of help.
Yes.
Like Katniss gets a ton of help.
Ton of
like
help.
she's don't get me wrong, Katniss is a strong character, but she gets a ton of help. She gets a lot of things that happen just at the right time. And I know that's a storytelling device, but I always look at this like Harry Potter is supposedly this like powerful wizard.
Yeah.
But not really. He only survived Voldemort because his mom sacrificed for him. And then every step along the way. So later on, I think it's in later movie, they even say when he's forming Dumbledore's army, he's like, that was a lot of luck and I had a lot of help. And everyone shrugs it off. And I'm like, yeah.
No. Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
He is not. He doesn't pay attention. He literally does not care about any of his education. He doesn't practice at all.
Yes.
And yet he makes it through this. And like the Priori Incantatum or whatever, which again, proof that J.K. Rowling just happened to learn Latin and just decided all of my spells are going to be Latin.
Yes.
Yeah. All he does is just fall ass backwards into being saved.
Yes.
When the whole year, Moody or Barty Crouch Jr. could have just killed him at any time and been like, check, move on. But Voldemort said, no, you gotta wait for me. I have to be the one to do it.
Oh yeah, of course. Like there's like the ultimate revenge of the big bad guys. Like this stupid baby, like defeated me. I need to seek my revenge for this.
Yeah,
so I get
it's not like he knew he was a Horcrux. Because obviously we know later on that he did not know. Because he says, I have to be one to kill him.
Yes.
And you want to give him the credit and say, oh, he knows that he has to be one to kill him because he's a Horcrux. No, that's not the case.
No. But it
just Harry ass backwards.
What I think is great about the
mind you, I love these movies. I'm just saying,
true.
It's like, come on,
we got some quibbles, but I think it works for the sense of like, you know, at that time and age, they wouldn't have no real concept of like the danger that Voldemort really presents,
right?
And so, you know, 13 years at this point, but like 10 years prior to Harry,
and
you know, it was getting bad and, you know, really, really dangerous. And then all of a sudden the danger is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So for a decade, they lived in this kind of like pensive luxury of like, oh, here we go. Like we're not that bad. It's okay. Even though of anybody, Harry would be the one that would probably have some recognition of like, oh no, shit got bad because my parents got killed by this.
Right.
So it is a weird device of he's so effortless and kind of cavalier about like whatever.
Like, if you were in that situation, wouldn't you think like I need to like Rambo or Rocky style this shit and like train?
Yes.
If this dude killed my parents and is able to come back from the dead, mind you.
Yeah.
I should probably take this shit seriously.
Yeah. Remember the second movie?
I don't know. Yeah. They'll come.
Who's gonna go to the dance?
Yeah. And
but
again, in the real world, we all say, you know what? My kid would do that too. So I mean, I would be. They're thinking with a D is all what it is. It's
it works. Yes, but I agree. It's like the second movie. Like you learn that Tom Riddle was like working his ass off to figure out how to become Voldemort.
Yeah,
maybe step it up a little bit. Like I should be like the good version of that, but that's fine. So to that aspect, actually, watching this again, this feels like the first shift for me where I can see Daniel Radcliffe really growing as an actor.
Yeah.
He was like, everybody's been solid in their ways prior to this, but this, and I don't know if it was like maybe explained to him of like, you got to up your game, man.
We talked about it in the third one in that he does get better. He takes a huge step in the third one.
He is progressing.
Because, and it's more honestly, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
His body, like he feels very robotic in his movements.
Yes.
In the first couple
my
movies. Yeah. He's there. His acting and his voice gets better in the third one.
Yes.
But here it definitely is like he kind of feels like he's embodying the character a lot more.
Yes. And if only those around him were also doing their part.
Dude.
I really appreciate Emma Watson and Rupert Grint.
Oh, well, I think they're fine in this. They're better in other movies, but they're fine.
But they're growing older, but I don't know that I say they're growing. Like, Emma Watson's face is still irritating to me. Like she's trying too hard.
Oh,
like her eyebrows are working really hard to express like concern. I'm like, okay, tone it down. But I think they're lacking because Radcliffe clearly is growing.
Yeah, he definitely is getting better. Yes,
not just old aging.
those two started out at a much higher level.
Yes.
And maybe they didn't improve.
Yeah.
Or not. I think by the end, everyone's totally fine.
They
and
do catch
effortless.
up. I agree. But this stands out to
Sure,
me.
I can see that.
Yeah.
But I'm more thinking like everyone else. Because there's like Seamus in the next movie, he's terrible when he speaks.
I agree.
Dean has awful one-lines every movie. And like most of the other kid actors, Neville's fine.
Yeah.
Most of the kid actors aren't very good. The other Weasley twins are fine. Like nobody's really, really good.
No.
As evidenced by the fact that nobody's gone on, aside from those principal three.
Correct.
I mean, Grinch definitely went on his own path, but he had a career after this. I mean, those three went on to pretty big careers.
Yes.
And everyone else is like nothing, right?
Good.
They weren't known for their acting, but it works, and so good for them.
Yes.
I will. Speaking of acting, though, I had the thought about closer to the end, especially when Ralph Fiennes shows up. Why does Marvel get a bad rap, but Harry Potter gets a pass when it comes to actors? Right? Like Marvel, they're like, oh, you got these big name actors and you're doing a Marvel movie, or you're doing a superhero movie. Oh, yeah, how could you do this? You know what I mean? All this other thing. Marvel gets this bad rap almost where they get these actors and it doesn't, I don't know. I don't think people look down on them necessarily, but I think Marvel gets a bad rap.
Yes.
But Harry Potter at the time, 20 years ago, you've got Oscar-winning, Oscar-nominated actors, actresses, and writers and everybody else that's just hopping onto this train. And because it's a kid's movie, quote unquote, and they just have small parts, they're totally given a pass.
Yeah.
But like Marvel, on a lot of times, people are like, oh, but you're doing a superhero movie. Or I can't do that. It's a superhero movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, why can you do Harry Potter, but you can't do Marvel?
Yes. A big budget,
It's a
huge
big budget
movie.
adaptation of things that is quote unquote for kids.
Yes.
Why I'm like, I'm not saying, again, Marvel obviously is clearing billions and they've done just fine for themselves, so they don't mind. But I think there is a bit of a negative, like Marvel gets or Harry Potter, these guys get a pass.
They do.
I mean, it's because they're British. I don't know.
Maybe. But to that aspect, like, should we talk about Ralph Fiennes?
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
So, like, the world shifts to me, no pun intended. Obviously, Voldemort, the big bad guy, comes in. Cool, here we go. But you've been hinting at this character for, at this point, 3.5 movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if, from a execution standpoint, because at this point I had read the books, but it's one thing to read it, but it's another thing to visualize it.
Right.
And to have an actor come in with, all that weight, I don't know how you do so well. And Ralph Fiennes just effing kills it.
Yeah.
He is perfect as the bad guy. And again, to the credit of makeup and digital effects, to have him look like a snake and everything, but his mannerisms and how he holds himself after coming back, it definitely feels like, oh shit, this guy is absolutely the Dark Lord.
Yeah. Side note, who says J.K. Rowling is anti-trans? I mean, I'm just saying he totally shifts his body.
He does
to be like a snake.
Yes.
But I was just saying, like, she is, by the way.
Yes.
But I agree. I think the tone of the bad guy, like Voldemort, is a much better bad guy in the books. For sure.
Yeah.
Because you get more family depth, you get more behind. Like, all he seems like in the movies is a guy who just can't kill a kid.
It does seem like
that's how it looks like in the movies. Yeah, he just can't.
Harry Potter!
Like, fish shaking the air.
Yes.
Like, oh, damn you.
Yes.
That's what it feels like sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it just happens in the end. He's doing fine in his world. He's killing whoever he needs to do.
Yeah.
People are disappearing. But then once it comes to Harry Potter, he's just like, or like Scooby-Doo, like the bad guy at the end.
Yes.
He just can't do it.
Yes.
And it doesn't work that way. But Ralph Fiennes himself is a perfect example of perfect casting.
Yes.
Great timing on his part too, because I'd have to look back. I'm sure the Constant Gardener was out around this time or whatever. But
Red Dragon.
Yeah, we covered
We've
him
seen
there.
that,
Like
yeah.
he's kind of had this like thing where he was out there, but I don't know if he just wasn't. I don't know, like why do you pick this? You know what I
Yes.
mean? But the fact that he did,
Yeah.
he's solid, and God, he's got a good voice.
Yeah, and just like the embodiment of like, oh God, this guy's going to be really something to mess with. Like, or like, you take him seriously.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Despite the whole like slapdash, like, okay,
right. But this is
really
one of the
gets
best
away.
like bad guy introductions,
Yes.
probably in film history, where
Yes.
he pops out there.
And to the story credit, but also the movie, like at least they now have the big bad guy. Here we go.
Right.
We don't have to wait around like and hear about him anymore. It's a hinting at legend
Yeah.
that speaks of. Now he's back. Here we go.
Yeah, I look at every time I think of these movies or watch them, or especially the later movies, because you see some glimpses into the past. I get frustrated that we're getting a Harry Potter TV series, which I'm sure will be fine.
Exactly.
I get it.
There's no need.
And I don't think these movies are perfect. And if you do 10-episode series per year, you
Yeah.
can bring a lot of the stories out from
Sure.
the books that aren't in there.
Sure.
So I'm not even necessarily opposed to that. But every time I watch these, I go, missed opportunity on telling the story of not only Harry's parents, but how Voldemort comes to power.
Yeah.
Like there is a great
Yes.
story there
Yes.
of like whatever in the 40s and 50s when he's
Yes.
growing
And
up.
not the Fantastic Beast kind of stuff.
No,
like,
that's my problem. Is
Yes.
I don't like that we get Fantastic Beasts,
yes.
but we don't get the rise of Voldemort. We don't get a series of books or a mini series or a damn show on Harry's parents. Like
Yep.
they're from like let's do the math, right? Maybe we even talked about that. I don't listen to our show. Maybe we talked about this in Azkaban. I like you graduate 17, 18,
Yep.
right? So presumably there's about a 10-year gap from when the parents graduate to when Harry's born, because let's call it mid-20s.
Yeah.
Maybe upper 20s.
Yeah.
That they're
That's safe.
That's at most, I would
Yes.
think, right? You're
Yeah.
married, you have kids.
Mid-20s, sure.
So there's this there's this like post Hogwarts of that generation leading up to Voldemort's demise of Harry. That is a great story. It's there.
Yes.
And yet what we get is just a redo of Harry Potter.
Exactly. I don't see the point of the TV show.
Yeah. You don't see, speaking of Fantastic Beasts, wizarding schools in America would be an interesting, like they touch on it there, but
Yeah.
like that wizarding world in America, it's obviously there.
Yeah.
Why don't you have that?
Yep.
Instead, let's recast and redo it.
Yes.
It seems lazy. They're spending $1 billion to do it. And it's really honestly just to advance the wizarding world of Harry Potter in the theme parks. And,
True.
I mean, it's just
True.
It's frustrating because there's a lot of good untapped stories out there that I wish Rowling would either write herself or allow
Yes,
somebody
else to
tell
flesh
that
out.
story and say, here you go.
Yeah. Like you think of Harry's dad and the friends they had.
James,
Yeah, James. And like Peter Pettigrew was one of them.
That whole group.
Yes.
All of them.
How was this guy
In
turned?
the 5th movie, there's that picture of all of them.
Yes.
Like that right there should be the start of your mini series.
Yes.
Or series, or just that.
Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
In the sense of you graduate, you have all these grand ambitions, and then things start going sideways.
Yeah.
And you're like the friend group gets pulled apart and all these things. And
I know.
Yeah.
I don't, every time I do it, I'm like, I can't write it. I don't own it. I
that's
don't
true.
understand. Now, I understand why she's not writing it.
Sure.
Because I think she should be done.
Yes.
But like, hand it off to somebody else.
Yeah.
And just say like, this is the world. Like, go write it.
Well, I haven't watched it, as we talked about, but like, think about Andor.
Yeah.
Like, George Lucas sells a property. Cool. They figure things out. Like, they do some prequel stuff and like Rogue One. And then they give the Gilroy brothers, like, whoever that, I think they're like, like, hey, flesh this out.
Yeah.
How great could that be? I could see something similar where it's
fair.
like this, take some time,
Let it- yeah.
expand this out. And then, yes, to that end, we joked about it, but man, creeping fascism perpetrated by evil acolytes sure hits differently now than it did when first watching it 20 years ago.
I know. I felt like we should change the tint on the TV to orange.
Yeah.
Right? Like, kind of like
Yeah.
Voldemort's a little bit too pale for
He's
this.
back.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey,
Yeah,
he's
second
back 4
time.
years on.
But yeah, it's differently. So this could be like oddly serious, but
Oh, okay.
Cedric's dad wailing is just heartbreaking.
For a guy who's only in the movie for like 10 minutes.
Right? And little
man,
hints of things.
it.
And like, to the credit of, Robert Pattinson and how they kind of have him be like this compelling, like, yeah, rah, rah, he's the hero aspect, but they have him be human enough.
Yeah.
And then, yes, when he comes back and he's, dead, dear God, it hits me every time.
Yeah, the theme is pretty decent on the music side. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. It's not like Dumbledore's.
Oh, that's
I agree that I didn't even look it up. Whoever that actor is, man.
Yeah, it was
they brought it.
Dear
like
God,
he's in it for maybe 10 minutes total. Like
a
couple of lines here and there, and he did a great job. I find this movie, like the first half of it, to be, I don't want to say boring, but I'm kind of like,
it's fine.
It's fine.
Yes.
Once the dragons hit, it does get a little bit better. But then that whole scene, everything about that, it's really good. It's really good ramping up. Like it's delivering, and it feels a really good payoff. Like and now I'm going to go on to the next movie, and now I'm going to it does a really good job. And that's that scene though when he hops down. Like I agree.
It's just brutal.
It is pretty brutal.
But I agree. It's like one of those great ending sequences where now they're going to have the final maze figured out, and you're like on edge, be like, I know something's going to happen here. Like what's happening? And I love the fact of you don't see it coming. The port key aspect.
No, you really don't.
Like, whatever they introduced at the beginning for the Quidditch Cup, great.
It's there.
It's a port key. Cool. It's a fun little new Wizarding World thing.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
Because in the second book, you get the flu or
the flu powder.
The flu powder or whatever, and you get that.
Yep.
And you get some different, like, sort of ways of travel.
Yes.
So you kind of feel like, that's just another one. It fits in with... Doesn't feel forced.
Yeah. But it's like, this like thing they do every now and then. No, that's going to be actually the port key and get them out of there and bring them back. Like, just fantastic. All right. I got one more point.
Okay.
I'm just so happy seeing it again and like seeing Matt love the foreshadowing piece. Like the Moody reveal, because every year you're like, the dark defense against the dark arts teacher. What's going to happen with this? Because it's got to be something different.
Yeah, fine. The catalyst. Yeah.
Whatever. It's thankfully earned.
Yeah.
It's like the little things that build for it. So like when the transfiguration scene where Moody changes Malfoy into the ferret, he's chasing him around and like leaves his staff in the ground.
Yeah.
Walks around and you're like, wait a second, like he should need his like mobility device.
In theory, yeah.
And then the polyjuice potion, they flesh it out to death. You're like, Jesus God, like what's up with like hitting the head? And then the little quick lick thing that happens. And so it's so like it doesn't feel like a what the hell?
Right.
It's definitely like something's off with this guy. Like I like him. But like something's going off. So it's a great reveal, but to that aspect, Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah. Great.
It's so
great cast.
Fantastic. Like everybody's like, to me, Sirius Black is my favorite.
I know.
Throughout all of them, he's so great.
I know why he had to go, but
it's so unfortunate they couldn't do much in this. But thankfully, man, you bring in Brendan Gleeson, he is just fantastic as Moody. Is like, you root for him, you feel like, I kind of like this guy, and then when you're like, I just don't know what's happening, like, it's so great.
I have Mad Eye's wand. I love Mad Eye. I and it's weird because you love this Mad Eye, but is it the Mad Eye?
Yeah, right.
Because we really don't ever see Mad Eye again until the 7th movie much.
Yeah.
And I think it's great. I love Mad Eye. I can't even remember where I was going to go with that, to be honest with you.
You like him? Cool.
No, it was the Defense Against Dark Arts. It's like 3, like the first 2 were bad.
Yes.
The first 2. And then you get Lupin.
Yes.
Who is good. He's a good guy. So then already you're kind of like, well.
But he's an unreliable good guy.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, it's like you think, so obviously something's up with Moody, but you've just told me that Lupin is not a bad guy.
Yes.
So
you set the stage.
I can say maybe what's the new thing, and then it turns out that he is a bad guy. Like,
yes.
So it does a good job of building off of what came before it. Excuse me. Same with the Polyjuice Potion.
Yep.
Like none of that feels like it makes sense because that was in the
second book.
Second book.
Yes.
Second movie, and so it makes total sense. I have one just note. I understand why the visual effects weren't nominated because there were only 3.
Sure.
And it was King Kong, Chronicles of Narnia, and War of the Worlds. And I would probably put those 3 above this. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, I get that.
But come on, man.
Yeah.
Like those dragons are solid.
Yes.
The fireplace with the
Sirius Black's
face in there.
Yeah.
There's some really, really solid.
Even the underwater stuff's pretty
all
good.
the underwater, and it's got and they did a good job of not trying to make it look real.
Yeah.
The
Not
mermaids
like Little Mermaid
were
shit. Yes.
fake. They were creatures.
Yes.
They weren't humans that were underwater. They were creatures.
Yes.
Really kind of like, that's a solid. I mean, and the whole dragon sequence of getting attacked by the Hungarian Hortel. Like, everything is fake in that.
I was climbing around the
Hogwarts is fake.
Yes.
That's not a real building. They're just superimposing them on it. Like, I don't know. I have that. But my last sort of like, I have a hot shot. We're gonna bring a little bit, maybe a hot shot. And we don't have a hot shot part 2, but I have what I think would be maybe a hot shot.
You're American. Yes, from America.
Ooh.
An old school little segment.
Bringing it back.
I think screenwriter Steve Kloves is as important, if not more, to the Harry Potter world than creator J.K. Rowling.
Ooh.
And I say that because while the books were enormously popular, there's no denying that. If the movies had been awful, if the adaptations had been awful after 1 and 2, let's take those out of it because those are pretty much like word for word adaptations. But after that, somebody got to J.K. Rowling and said, "We can't keep this shit in the books or in the movies."
Yeah,
Steve Kloves adapted all of them. So, in my opinion, like you could be like, I look at we're not sitting here. I think if the movies had been awful and then not captured a shorter form of what made the books great, like really get down to what makes the books great, not the little house selfie stuff along the way, like the ELF and all that other stuff, like all of that. Bye, like goodbye.
Yep.
Not that it's bad in the books. It's just it doesn't translate to movie.
It works in the books. Yes.
We aren't sitting here talking about it 20 years later. And I think the Harry Potter universe of theme parks, future TV shows that we talked about may not even exist, and at least not in the current form they have. Like, look no further than Twilight, Aragon, Hunger Games, even to a certain extent. Like, I love the second Hunger, but those last 2 movies are not good. In the Hunger Games series, I like Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, but that's a different story.
Yep.
Series of Unfortunate Events, I like that movie, but that's a whole series that just went out after 1. If you look at the other YA adaptations,
and Maze Runner,
which I enjoy those movies, but they're not anywhere near as good as the books. Those books, are
Audrey loved the books. She was like watching the movies, being like, "These are really different,"
it's
and
totally
I don't like it. I'm like, "Oh yeah,"
and that's what makes the adaptation that much impressive. Is that you get the whole story.
Yep.
You do not get. I don't think there's a single moment you're like, man, Steve Kloves totally added that thing. Like, right?
Yeah.
They didn't change the. They didn't change the timeline. They didn't change anything. They didn't add, but they knew what to subtract.
He distills it down.
Yes, and I think Steve Kloves is as important, if not more. I get that she created it,
sure,
but from what we're talking about now, 20 years on, we're not doing that. If Steve Kloves doesn't come along and find a way to do that. Or whoever else would have been in that role. I'm not saying he's like, oh my God, the only person who could have done it. But he's the person who was assigned to do it.
He was assigned to it. And the fact that he adapted all of them.
Yeah.
And really distilled down, like, what are the key facets of each different story that will play well for a movie-going audience. Yeah.
Like, I would say, like, you know how the only reason we still know about the Bible is because Mel Gibson came along and made Passion of the Christ 20 years ago, right? Like,
I didn't hear about it until before that.
Nobody knew about it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the adaptation is what really made this last. At least, again, the books would have been there. The books are on their own.
Yep.
What they are.
Yeah.
But what the world that we live in now exists if it's a popular film or TV franchise.
Huh.
The How to Train Your Dragon movies are the only reason we're talking about that now is because they made great animated movies off the books. The books are fine.
Yeah, they're fine.
But they made good adaptations.
Yes. So, well, we talked about in different episodes like Shawshank and other like Green Mile, like with, perfect pairing of source material and the adapter.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for like just a serendipitous pairing with that?
Look at the reverse when adult stories don't work. I mean, like you got Where the Crawdads Sing and all these like big budget, these hugely popular books of the last X amount of years.
Yep.
The ones that I would say are as good, or if not better, than some of the books. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is a great adaptation. Yep. You know what I mean? Gone Girl's a great adaptation.
Girl's a great adaptation.
And you have these really great examples of film, but that's only because they work.
Yes.
And there's really, really bad adaptations out there.
Yeah. Oh, many.
Of great books.
Yes.
Most of them. And so I just think...
Yeah, he definitely is like the unsung hero.
Maybe as important. If you were going to argue with me, I would say as important. But I think he's more important.
He definitely...
this entire world.
He definitely is the unsung hero of these movies.
Yeah.
I like that. Ooh.
You don't think about it.
No.
Nobody knows about it. I don't know Steve
no one
Close
knows his name. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was nominated for an Oscar for... No. Yeah. Didn't he write Wonder Boys? Or who am I thinking of? Yeah. I think didn't he adapt Wonder Boys? Let's find out.
He 2001. So what is that? Sorry.
Who am I thinking of that adapted Wonder Boys?
Google's not helping us fast.
Oh, okay, yeah, come on. Yeah, do we need it on my phone? But I feel like he's. I feel like he was nominated for an Oscar at one point.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, come on, research. Pay you nothing. How do you not get me here? IMDb on my phone. Go.
He was Wonder Boys, for which he was nominated for Academy Award for Best. Nice.
So I'm just saying, like, he is a very talented writer, and they bring him on for. So I mean, it's a huge, important piece to this entire thing, and we have nobody gives him credit in terms of publicly.
I mean, he had nothing prior to Wonder Boys and then Harry Potter movies.
Yeah,
and just nonstop those. And then Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, and he adapted the last one. He did Dumbledore. I don't think he did the first two of the Fantastic Beasts.
Oh, no, he wasn't a writer. You're right. Yep.
Right, I think
he was Dumbledore.
Those or whatever. Yeah, but
correct.
So, yeah, I mean, the man knew what he was doing.
I like it.
All right. Are you good?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I think this is the right button. Nope. There we go.
I'm going up there. I'm going to try it. I'm going to let the jury decide.
As we close out our spotlight segment, we come to our final takes called The Verdict.
If we are to have faith and justice, we need only to believe in ourselves.
This is where Tim and I give our final verdicts after rewatching the film and decide whether or not the movie held up over the course of 2 decades.
Now you get out of here before I call a bailiff and have you thrown in jail.
This is The Verdict.
I said to hell with it, to hell with it.
While Prisoner of Azkaban is still my personal favorite of the entire series, Goblet of Fire elevates the continuing story of Harry Potter's development in the Wizarding world, confronted by an evil growing more powerful until they're all faced with the literal return of the Dark Lord everyone has been fearing. With a solid balancing between real weight and, you know what, our first major deaths. Like they're like adding a lot to that. And humorous adolescent development. The film also expands the world from just Hogwarts to thankfully include a wide array of interesting similar schools that are grappling with similar issues. Goblet of Fire is definitely a high watermark in the franchise and very, very impressive. 4 out of 5 stars for me.
Nice. Yeah, I think my verdict for me, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire represents another step in the film franchise that, like the books, did a great job of growing with its audience. What separates the Harry Potter films from any other YA adaptation is precisely that, and understanding that as we age, we also have darker feelings and experiences, and we just grow up. Mm-hmm. The world gets harder, which sucks. As we discussed in earlier films, thank Christ that Radcliffe and in general Watson and Grint could act, and we see more and more that of that growth in this film, in particular with Radcliffe. With solid direction, albeit probably the weakest in the franchise, and some great new additions both in acting and in crew, such as Gleason, Pattinson, and our first non-Williams score that was pretty solid.
Yeah.
From
Patrick Doyle.
Thank you. The film is a worthy addition to the Harry Potter film series. I like this movie a lot, but 3, 5, and 6 would rank higher for me. So I have 4 out of 5. Holds up, and somehow it has still been, every time I watch this, it's been 20 years.
That's great.
Since we've watched these movies. And they came out. I'm like, how is it even possible at this point? We're old. Womp womp.
Come on, not my beer.
With our reactions and verdicts to the movie out of the way, we move on to the reactions to our beers that we drank while rewatching our subject movie.
And if you want to have sex with a disgusting bad brewer with a terrible attitude,
this is where we take a look back at our beers and give our expert ratings for our drinking buddies.
ugh, whatever. Hey, here's the truth.
This is Drinking Buddies.
Let's get weird.
The first friend that we had this evening for our drinking buddies was, it's been a while since we've seen this. They discontinued for some time.
Yeah.
I don't know why they ever did.
I haven't been,
but happened to walk through the liquor store the weekend. I'm like, oh, hello, friend. From Fair State out of Minneapolis, they're Palais Pale Ale. And I got to say, I was very excited to have it back.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be one of those, like, I had fonder memories of it when it was originally out there. I don't know if they've changed it.
It's not as sweet.
Right? The first time it was more like a hazy,
little more of like
tropical...
a summery style.
Yeah, it was just like a 3.25.
Oh, wow, that low.
Yeah, I was like, man, maybe it's a disappointment because of what I've had before, feeling like, yes. But it was just kind of underwhelming for me.
I agree. I still have a 4 out of 5 because it was still drinkable and enjoyable, and it's a fine pale ale.
Super crushable, yeah.
But it is not. There was definitely more of a like a. I don't know. I don't even know if it's pineapple-y vibe or something.
Totally, something tropical.
The name even is Palais.
Palais.
I used to think it was Palais LA.
Palais LA. It used to be.
Yeah, but now it's just Palais, so maybe they got rid of the LA. Something's different.
Yes.
But I would drink it again, but I don't think now that I've had it and you bought it, thank you.
Yes.
I don't need to spend my money on it.
You're like, it's good.
It's like, that's fine.
No,
There's way better pale ales out there.
I totally agree. And then we had out of Central Waters out of Wisconsin, they're extremely unsettled, hazy Mosaic Citra Bavarian double IPA. It's a 3.5 for me. It was a fine one. It's like, I guess I maybe expected more out of Central Waters, but it was okay.
So
3.5.
Tim can witness this. This is me hitting back on this. I had a 3.75, but I have a 3.5 as well now because I did not realize it was Mosaic and Citra, and you done fumbled the ball on that one.
Those are the best ones.
Those are the two that
we
talked about in episode 1. Those are the Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks of hops. Like,
what are you doing?
What are you doing? So now I had a 3.75. It was fine, but I bumped it down a little because you were given the ingredients.
Yes.
And then they throw Bavarian in there, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, damn it.
So I had 3. It was fine. 3.5.
And then in somewhat of a theme-ish option, because we have the Beauxbatons or whatever, all female school, out of 56 Brewing out of Minneapolis, they're Big Chick Energy, bubbly blonde ale. They team up with the women of Picnic Linden Hills to craft a bubbly beer. Blah, blah. It's kind of like a champagne yeast dry hop option here. So I'm going to tread lightly. It's a 3.5 for the style.
Okay.
In as much as I see what they were going for.
Sure.
Kind of like a farmhouse type of thing. It was unpalatable in many ways. I was like, nope, do not like this at all. So I'll give it credit for you lean into the style. It is not a style that I would ever want to drink. And I hope ladies don't like it. It's terrible.
I think you have your evidence that you definitely marked Palais down for disappointment than anything else. Because Palais, I would drink a 4-pack of that and be fine with it. That's fine.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's good. It's fine. Yeah. I had this at a 3.25. I had it a 3 out of 5 as well.
Yeah.
But for the ladies, I brought it up to a 0.25. You're welcome.
You're courteous.
I thought it was not great.
No.
But again, to your point, I can't go lower than 3 if it's
well executed.
If it's poorly made, I'll be under 3.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, you made something wrong.
Like, what the
This
hell
was
is this?
bad.
Yeah.
Like, but it was fine. They did a fine job, but it just wasn't good.
No.
Like, I would have been mad if I had been well,
I'm glad we
had
split
this
it.
Yeah, if I had that in. You didn't buy a 4-pack, did you?
I sure did.
Ugh.
I was trying to give variety to the misses.
Here's what you do. You have some friends over. You'd be like, oh, you should try that one out.
Yeah.
Let me know what you think.
Yeah.
And then you get a quarter of the way through and dump it, but at least you can like have a story.
You're a feminist, right?
Yeah. You like the ladies.
Oh, we're terrible. And then we shifted over to Weldworks out of Colorado with Topping Goliath, a collaboration or collab,
Sure.
as I like to say. Their Hazy Double IPA Dino Bits, so a change on their Juicy Bits.
Juicy Bits, yeah.
Double IPA. It's a 4.25 for me. I just think this is a great one. Like it a lot.
I liked it. I have a 4 out of 5. I like it. Their Juicy Bits is better than this. Like,
yeah.
Like Weldworks is Juicy Bits.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of like, well, I like that better, so I can't rate it higher. And I'm pretty sure I rated that at 4.25, so I went down at 4. It's good. I get a little frustrated Topping Goliath.
Sure.
In that when I drink it, I'm like, oh, this is Topping Goliath.
Yeah.
Or we had this with Junkyard or the other one from that area. Drecker.
Yeah.
You're like, they all taste the same.
That's what it is.
There you go. There it is. We have it every time we have a Topping Goliath. We're kind of like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have 4. It's good though.
It's tasty. And then a newer option in the cities that we are just getting more introduced to. Haggard, a little bit like Haggard. Here we go.
That's better.
A Haggard Barrel Brewing out of, I want to say St. Louis Park.
St. Louis Park, yep.
Yep. They have like a rotating smoothie style sour ale. They call it a glonky. Not sure why.
Yeah.
This was their pineapple, guava, cinnamon, brown sugar, vanilla. And I will laugh because I sort of upside down because I liked when I pour it up to like kind of have that. I had to squeeze the can because it had been sitting under like that for so long that it had kind of like
formed
stuck at the bottom at the top. So it's like glop, 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 glop. So that's why they call it glonky.
Viscous.
Yeah, it was good. I had a 4.
Yeah.
For me. It was really, really solid.
Yeah. It's I'm glad we split it.
True.
But it's a classic sort of thick sour.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but I wouldn't want
Again,
more than
tall
one.
boys. I don't want tall boys.
I get it. But I get it. You can only buy one.
Sure, it's a canning
It's
line.
Small, you got to do it. So I had 4 to 5.
And then another option of 56 Brewing.
Oh, that's where it was. Okay.
Yes. So for their 10th anniversary, hey, we like the whole 10-year cycle or whatever. 10 years of crafting community. They're the Big 10 Triple IPA. I had 3.5.
Oh,
for this. It was fine. I've had a lot better triple IPAs that were either more palatable or either hop, just who knows, hazy or something like. It was fine to end the evening with. I'm glad we split it because it's 10%.
It is 10, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. 3.5 for me.
I have 4 out of 5. I think only because it was fine. It actually didn't even taste like a triple at all. So I think that's actually
sure. It wasn't too punch in the face.
Yeah, I mean, in that sense, it had a strong hazy vibe to it. I had 4 out of 5, but it's good. So
that's right.
Decent options tonight.
Yeah,
overall,
just
decent. Fine. Yep.
The exciting quiz program 21.
Our final segment of the episode is Quiz Show.
I have stood on the shoulders of life, and I've never gotten down into the dirt to build.
Where in our research for our subject film, we find some interesting trivia nuggets that we hope will stump the other and possibly intrigue you.
This is not McCarthyism. You're not here to expose for the sake of exposure.
This is Quiz Show.
Well, evidently certain of the contestants were given the answers in advance.
Cheating on a quiz show. It's like plagiarizing a comic strip.
All right. Well, Tim obviously took this more seriously than me. So, Tim, why don't you start? You have a few. I have a couple that I'm not even particularly proud of, but I don't mind mine. Yeah. That's fine. But we'll see what you got. Go ahead.
So, this is the first Harry Potter film to receive a PG-13 rating.
Ooh.
That rating was formally introduced in July 1984. And what action thriller released on August 10th, 1984, starring Patrick Swayze and teaser for our happy hour, Leah Thompson,
Is that
was the first movie released with a new rating at that time.
First movie released. It wasn't the reason why it was created. It
Correct.
Was like,
it was
is it Red Dawn.
Red Dawn.
Okay.
Nice.
What I can't really like. They don't yell regulators, but they
Warriors. No, Wolverines.
Wolverines. That's what
yes.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, side note,
wasn't Goonies the reason? Not Goonies.
No, Gremlins
was the
and
reason.
Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
Which were a few months prior to this. People were like, "What the
You
hell?
can't get away with that."
No.
I mean, hell, Jaws is a PG movie.
That's the funny thing too. We'll watch that and talk about it. It's like, that is a PG?
Yeah.
Are you freaking kidding me? Yeah. So yeah, Red Dawn. Nice.
All right, I guess so. Director Mike Newell, perhaps best known for directing Four Weddings and a Funeral, got his start in television, as most directors do. His last credit before Four Weddings and a Funeral, though, was as a director of a couple of episodes on what young television adaptation of a classic film franchise.
Okay, you put air quotes.
I know, I gave you that. That was your
That's good.
That was your
classic film. We just talked about Temple of Doom. Young Indiana Jones.
That's correct. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So he was
Yes!
a director on a couple of those, and would actually later do a couple more on when they did it again. But yeah, yep. So
that's good. So newcomer to the Harry Potter series, which we talked about, Brendan Gleeson plays Mad-Eye Moody, the newest Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. We've covered actually 4 of his films in our exploits. I won't have you go through them. And while he had small TV roles to start his career, his big screen breakout role in 1995 Best Picture film.
Oh yeah, that's Braveheart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hamish.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 'cause we did. So we've had 28 Days Later.
Yep.
What other part?
Scorsese.
What?
Scorsese.
Why am I thinking of
Dandy Lewis?
What?
Yeah, Gangs of New York.
Oh, that's right. He's in that. Okay.
Yeah.
I actually, that's why I don't like that movie. I can't even.
Yeah, right. He's like so unremarkable.
Yeah. What are the other two? Just
The Village.
Oh, that's right.
Right. Yeah. And then earlier this year, Kingdom of Heaven.
Yeah. Yeah, I never would have thought about
Nope.
this.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm not proud of this because I honestly forgot that he was the composer. But I have a trivia question on composer Patrick Doyle.
Me too.
Do you?
We'll see.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right, we'll see. I figured you would, but I honestly, I asked you, like, is this the last? Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't
Oh, yeah.
trying to play coy.
Oh,
I
yeah.
legitimately forgot that this was even a question of
This is
mine.
John
So,
Williams?
all right, so okay, composer Patrick, whatever. Patrick Doyle is the king of apparently is the king of writing music for classic adaptations. Aside from this film, he composed the music for adaptations of Henry V, Much Ado About Nothing, Great Expectations, which, by the way, was Alfonso Cuarón. I did not know.
Yes, that's right.
And I was
Yep.
like, okay, I watched that once. Anyway, Bridget Jones's Diary, Disney's Cinderella, more recently Murder on the Orient Express, or Miss Fowl, Death on the Nile. He's
Yeah.
just composed a whole lot of
All
things.
these Kenneth Branagh
right?
ones.
Yeah, exactly. He was also nominated for back-to-back Oscars and 2 classic adaptations in 95 and 96.
Here's my
Yeah,
trivia.
that's what he got.
But I like how you got there. Like the whole classic adaptation is
Yeah.
great. Sense and Sensibility.
Yes.
And an all-time
You love that movie.
amazing
You love that
movie,
Yeah.
Hamlet.
Yeah. But I think that's a classic example of you were reading that at the time, I think, right?
Oh yeah, it was
In-
it was in high school.
in high
yes.
school, and so it was kind of like you were in that perfect place of getting there.
Kenneth Branagh's so good in that.
But you know,
God.
also both of which have leads who also would star in what franchise film later on?
Oh god, I have no idea.
Harry Potter.
Oh, he was the second one. Yes, Kenneth Branagh
Well, Emma Thompson. Yeah.
and Emma Thompson. Yeah, they were. He was the
Yeah.
second
Yeah.
one,
And so
and
is
she's the third one.
Trelawney, isn't she?
Yeah.
so-
Oh yeah, she's in the third one.
Yeah.
See?
So like, there you go.
Yeah, it comes back.
Full circle.
I like that. So, my final trivia is the band
final,
playing the my trivia was the Patrick Doyle.
got you, yeah.
The band playing the Winter Ball is known as the Weird Sisters,
Mhm.
and the players in that are composed of miscellaneous members from real bands, Pulp,
Mhm.
All Seeing Eye,
Mhm.
and 2 members from what experimental British rock band?
You don't have to. It's Radiohead.
Yes.
Anytime Tim's gonna get Johnny Greenwood and Radiohead out
Johnny
there, he's
Greenwood!
gonna do it. So
And Phil Say the drummer. Yeah, the drummer. Yes. Yeah. Johnny Greenwood. I was like, oh, how can I work that into trivia for future composer?
Yeah,
Like, no.
yeah.
So, Radiohead. Nice. There we go.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the episode. Be sure to find all of our previous episodes on your favorite streaming platform. And stay tuned for upcoming happy hour on 2 classic summer blockbusters celebrating milestones in Back to the Future and Jaws, as well as future episodes on Batman Begins and Sin City. Find us on the web via the metaverse of Facebook, Instagram, and Threads, and head to 20years4beers.com for more info. We want to say thank you for taking the time to listen and for clicking that like or subscribe button on your devices. This has been 20 Years 4 Beers. My name is Steve.
I'm Tim.
And thanks for listening.
Thanks. Whatever, like 25, man. Like, I'm not reading this kid. Yeah, this kid's bullshit. Yeah. Man, creeping fascism perpetrated by evil acolytes sure hits differently.
IMDb on my phone, go.
Oh, God, you little whiny bitch.
Whiner.